Hey guys, I'm Morthadon and we are back for Love, Death, and Robots. This is the final episode of Volume 2, The Drowned Giant. All the ones up till now have been really cool and interesting stories. I imagine this one's going to be the same. It's only 13 minutes long. Keep in mind, guys, I did just binge these past, 5 episodes, which is why, if you're wondering why I have the same exact clothes on, it's because these episodes were shorter. I had 5 left. I considered doing 3 and then 2 another night, but I was like, you know what? I might as well just finish up the rest of them. So, especially because a couple of them that I watched tonight were only 7 to 10 minutes, which is some of them were 18 minutes, so almost half the duration on some of them. So, anyways, regardless, sorry, rambling. I'm looking forward to this one. The Drowned Giant sounds interesting. Sounds like a giant that drowned. I don't know anything else, but anyways, let's get started, shall we? All right, we're gonna start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Ah, no, get out of my eye, whatever you are. I think we're good. I don't know what the hell that was. I'm gonna be finishing this up. A penis! What? 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 Why did it look like a penis in a house? Did I just see what I wanted to see? Or am I crazy? That's a drowned giant. Ah, good old Stephen Gawking. I'm just kidding. Is it dead? Jeez. There was a penis in those 3 little icons that showed up at the start of this. Are we about to see a giant's dick? Yeah, it looks way more human than sometimes giants are represented. Climbed on top of it. Such disrespect. He's gonna wake up and just kill everyone. It's a little disturbing. Right? Can you imagine just, climbing all over a corpse? Kids playing on top of it. A couple kids in its ear. Oh. Oh, okay. I thought he was wiggling his nose. Thought he was alive. Yep. I would not go near that thing. Even though it seems very much dead. Does it, like, decompose? Like... Okay. 3 days later. Jeez. Damn littering. Jeez. Are they gonna dispose of it? It looks... It's either dirty from people climbing on it, or it's, like... decomposing. Yeah, it's decomposing. The eyes aren't as... The eyes look way more dead. Ugh. I was kind of hoping this guy wouldn't, and, like, be more respectful, I guess. I keep thinking it's gonna, like, wake up, but the longer we go on, the more I think I'm just completely wrong, because it's, like, a decomposing corpse. The fascinating thing is just, like, if this were to suddenly appear in our world, like, where did it come from? That'd be my question. Oh. Oh. Wait, so was that already there, or was that the humans, like, starting to try to get rid of the body and, like, cutting parts off? I like the dialogue in this, though. Jeez. God. Interesting. Jeez. God. This guy's just camping out in front of it? Are they eating it? Is that guy just eating this giant? Or is that their way of, like, disposing it? Like, why is there so many fires set up? Maybe they're burning it? I don't think that's... I don't know. What? That's kind of weird. Jeez. That's kind of messed up, right? The skull. Jeez. Is that his dick? Well, we now know what the icon is, right? Jeez. Oh my god. Jeez. Damn. Is that it? Interesting. Cool. That is the end of the Drowned Giant. Man, that was that was also a very interesting one. That was really good. I really liked. Like, sorry if I didn't like say much. I feel like I was kind of just taken in by the atmosphere. It was very like calm, you know, with just this guy, you know, talking and the sound of the ocean nearby and everything. It felt very calming compared to what we were seeing, which, in my opinion, was kind of like a terrible sight with, like, you know, this people playing on this corpse, you know, like, I don't know. It was really disturbing. But I love the dialogue and, like, how this, you know, this guy came out to research it and he became so fascinated with it. But just, like, the way he talked about it and the different, like, metaphors and stuff like that he was coming up with and his articulate words that he was using was just, like, not really mesmerizing, but it just, like, really, like, pulled me in where I just wanted to listen, and that's kind of why I was probably a little quieter than some of the other ones. But it was a really cool idea. I was really worried at first that it was gonna wake up, but obviously the longer we went and the more we started to see it, like, decompose, I was like, okay, this thing is dead. But, like, obviously I said it during the video, but whenever I see something like this, like, and it's like a mystery of, like, where it came from, I always want to know. Like, I love mysteries, and, you know, I guess everybody probably does, right? But I also love getting, like, the answers to the mysteries. Like, obviously sometimes the answer doesn't really justify, or it doesn't really stand up to the imagination, and that's why sometimes it is better to leave it to the imagination. But there are some times where I really wish that, like, in some of these, like, some of these stories, I was able to get, like, the answer to, like, where'd that thing come from? Like, you know, if this is in, like, established society, like, if it's our world and we suddenly found, like, a giant like that, like, where would it have come from? Like, the fact that we've explored the entire planet, like, the only option would be an alternate dimension and he somehow fell out of a portal or something, right? Space, I guess, is a possibility. Or, like, the deepest depths of the ocean that we haven't, like, explored yet. If they're, like, a Aquaman kind of race that like, lives in the deepest depths that we haven't been able to see yet, you know? and like just the idea of like where that thing could be hiding, because like that's the thing about like our planet is, except for the deepest depths of the ocean, there's nothing we really haven't explored anymore. So there's no more like, there's not as much mystery. Like every now and then we find like new creatures and variations of creatures and stuff like that, but like for the most part all the exploring is done, you know. And that's like one of the things about like the show Hunter x Hunter, the anime, that really got to me, was the vast world with like only part of it being explored and stuff like that is it's just a really cool idea, and like how not many people are able to make it to like the outer edges and really explore the world kind of thing, you know. And that's always like I always love seeing like new fascinating stuff, which is why it's always fascinating to read about space, because we're always learning new stuff about space and all that. But like whenever I watch shows that have to do with exploring new worlds and stuff, it always ticks a little, or like a game where I'm exploring that new world and stuff like that. It always like ticks a little box in me that like, man, how much I'd love to be able to just explore a new world someday, you know. But obviously that's never gonna happen. but yeah. But it gave me like a sense of that, of like, where did this thing come from, and all these questions and stuff like that. But on to like the point of the episode, though, it was kind of messed up how people so quickly went and like climbed on it and played on it. Like I can't think of anything else where we just climb on and play on its corpse. Like if we saw a dead whale, we wouldn't climb on it and start playing on it, let alone, like, I feel like it's even less likely that if we had, like, a giant human being, that we would jump on it and climb on it. There's something, like, so disturbing about it. I'm sure there'd be some people that would do it, you know, but at least to me, there's something so disturbing about that. And then just, like, the desecration of its corpse. Like, I understand, like, having to chop it up and, like, dispose of it, because you don't just want, like, a giant rotting body. Like, can you imagine the diseases that could, like, permeate onto this beach, you know? But, like, and obviously, like, how else are they gonna get rid of something so massive other than, like, chopping it into pieces? But the fact that people were, like, graffitiing on it and stuff like that, that's just, like, messed up, you know? But... and the penis is just in a circus tent for the rest of forever, people mistaking it for a whale penis and stuff like that. It was interesting, to say the least. But interesting and disturbing. But yeah, man. The, whatchamacallit. And then the fact that, like, even after they disposed of it, they then took the bones and various parts and, like, I guess I did just mention the tent one, or the penis one. It was the penis in the tent. But the different bones and stuff just being propped up around town and stuff like that as, like, a symbolism of this thing's existence is, once again, really messed up in my eyes, you know? Like, that's just crazy. I don't know. It's, it bothered me on some kind of level, right? But yeah. Love, Death, and Robots, guys, Volume 2. That was really good. I love these little mini stories and everything. Obviously, some of them, they leave you to your imagination for some of these answers to the stuff. I think Snow in the Desert, like I was about to start talking about it in my discussion of the last episode. I think Snow in the Desert is probably my favorite so far, in terms of, like, aesthetics and stuff like that, but I also think Pop Squad might be what compelled some of the most emotion from me, because I just felt so bad for, like, the kids that had to die in this world where population was being controlled, and if you had a kid, you know, it's not the kid's fault that it was born, and they just go in and kill him, you know. So the emotions that one instilled was pretty harsh, too. I mean, a lot of these were fantastic. Those were probably my two favorites. a lot of the ones had like an interesting premise with like the art style and stuff. Like Ice's art style was really cool. Even automated customer services was kind of like interesting. It was like goofy with like the proportions and everything, but it was still like really interesting. All through the house was just super creepy with the Santa depiction. Oh man. But yeah, definitely think that between Pop Squad and Snow in the Desert, those are my two favorite out of all of these. I really liked this Drowned Giant too. This Drowned Giant is up there, right? But yeah. Anyways, yeah, guys, I think that's gonna be it for me and Love, Death, and Robots. Now there's not gonna be anything replacing this one because this was just something that I picked up on my own time. It was something that my friends were watching it, and I wanted to watch it too. Granted, they watched it all like a few days ago, but I watched a few of the episodes a few days ago, the first 3, and I was able to talk to them about those, and I just wanted to be able to talk to them about it, and I was like, you know what, I kind of want to react to it, though. They're shorter episodes, there's not too many, so I was like, this will be a quick series that I can finish up relatively fast and put out to you guys, and share my reaction to them. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed me going through this series. Obviously, if there's another volume, I'll probably be doing that one too. But yeah, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to support the channel. You can blah blah blah. You can find the link to my Patreon down in the description, or it should be popping up on the screen. Or you can just go to patreon.com/Morthadon. I have early access for a lot of my shows on there, as well as Patreon exclusive content where I'm watching Jujutsu Kaisen and Black Sails, so you'll be able to watch that on my Patreon before it makes it onto YouTube. So check that out if you're interested. And once again, thank you for watching, and I will see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.